A top-tier mindset that can make you internally powerful to the point of invincibility. Increasing life's tolerance for error 001. A top-tier mindset that can make you internally powerful to the point of invincibility. Increasing life's tolerance for error. 扫划算 Original Text March 7 28.08分 The greatest difference between the strong and the weak lies not in their abilities, but in their tolerance for uncertainty. The strong view uncertainty as an opportunity, while the weak see it as a risk. Therefore, when faced with uncertainty, the strong only believe in the laws of things. Analyzing opportunities amidst risks, the weak often dwell on their emotions, failing to control risks in the presence of opportunities. Thus, in a jungle society, the strong are the hunters, while the weak are the prey. A person often falls into anxiety and internal conflict not due to failures in reality, but because they are disturbed by uncertain outcomes. Within anyone facing the unknown will instinctively feel fear. This fear of uncertainty can transform into a blind reliance on uncertainty to escape the fear and unease brought by uncertainty. Many become extremely averse to risk, leading to all decisions prioritizing stability and low risk in order to gain a sense of security and control. However, anyone who can achieve significant results in reality is capable of solving open-ended problems in highly uncertain environments. Why do founders and executives of companies, despite having less execution than operational staff, earn significantly more? Because they often need to address issues of uncertainty, facing probabilities and risks, and making correct strategic decisions. In contrast, operational staff usually complete tasks with high certainty, where the paths and methods for problem solving are clear and defined. Thus, if you want to become a true strong person and expert, you must continually enhance your tolerance for uncertainty. How much uncertainty a person can endure is not determined by personal will but by their lives. Tolerance for error. The strong are not inherently able to ignore probabilities and risks. They build a higher tolerance for error through sufficient abilities and resources, enabling them to have a stronger foundation for awareness and more redundant time and space to hedge against unknown risks and probabilities of failure. So how can ordinary people increase their life's tolerance for error? The first step is correct attribution. Regaining a sense of control. How you define a problem determines how you solve it. Attributing problems internally to areas you can control and influence through action is the first step in enhancing tolerance for error. Internal attribution does not mean self-blame. Never elevate the problem to a total denial of self. Correct attribution views problems as temporary, solvable, and allows for full subjective initiative, thus regaining control over the situation. When you feel you have sufficient understanding of any problem, find solutions, and have enough control to reduce negative impacts and actual losses, your mental strength will increase, your determination will grow, and you will be able to manage your fear of uncertainty, freeing yourself from emotions and engaging in action. The second step is to accumulate redundancy to hedge against probabilities and risks. For uncontrollable probabilities and risks, sufficient redundancy is needed to provide. A hedge is like if you want to roll the highest score with dice. After the first failure, what you need to do is not analyze the structure of the dice, the force of your wrist, or the angle of your throw, but to quickly roll again, because the outcome of rolling dice is completely random. Your personal actions and subjective initiative have almost no impact on the result. Therefore, the only way to combat single-instance randomness is to increase the overall number of attempts, which means to try multiple times in reality. Each attempt incurs corresponding costs. So the purpose of accumulating redundancy is to ensure you always have the opportunity and confidence to try again. Comprehensively accumulating your resources such as funds, abilities, and connections that can support you in life, giving you the qualification to stay in the game. The third step is to leverage failure to gain benefits. Failure is merely a subjective feeling. Objectively speaking, there is no failure, only feedback. If you view the result as failure, it will cause you to falter. If you view the result as an opportunity, it can lead to your rebirth. The world's top tennis superstar, Federer, has an average scoring rate of only 54%, meaning he only has a 4% advantage over each point yet. This 4% advantage is enough to support Federer in winning over 80% of his matches. Making him a tennis legend is because the outcome of a tennis match depends on games and sets. It is a process of gradually accumulating advantages even if each point has only a 4% swing winning rate. As the number of rallies increases, the advantage is sufficient to sway the entire match. Traditional education instills a deep-rooted fear of losing points, so we often try to pass through challenges perfectly without any effort. However, the essence of life is a game of probabilities. Both victory and defeat are normal, merely levers to grow. What we should do is not to fight for every point, but to use trial and error experiences to leverage the probability of key points, exchanging partial failures for overall system victories. This is the essence of anti-fragility. We attempt to create order, yet often it backfires with chaos. We always seek stability, but it is often destroyed by risk. The first step to becoming stronger is to accept the impermanence of fate, the twists and turns of life, and the unpredictability of existence. Setbacks and failures cannot be avoided, evaded, or circumvented. However, anything that does not kill you will ultimately make you stronger. When you gradually create a higher tolerance for error in your life, you will be able to withstand fluctuations, randomness, chaos, pressure, risk, and uncertainty like a spark in the wilderness, spreading fire and becoming unstoppable.